Some plants carry a myth so old, nobody remembers when it started. This one is named after a hero from Greek legend, and the story behind that name might be closer to real medicine than you'd expect. By the end of this, you'll learn why ancient soldiers reportedly carried this plant into battle, what modern research actually says about it for wounds and bleeding, one surprising safety warning almost nobody mentions, and how to grow a plant so tough it barely needs your help. The plant is Achillea millefolium, yarrow. That first word isn't an accident. It comes directly from Achilles, the legendary Greek warrior. Yarrow grows in tall, feathery clusters, soft, fern-like leaves and flat clusters of tiny white or pale pink flowers, tough enough to survive roadsides, meadows, and neglected gardens alike. According to legend, Achilles used yarrow to treat his soldiers' wounds on the battlefield, packing the crushed leaves directly onto cuts to slow the bleeding. The genus name has carried his story for over 2,000 years. Here's where it gets interesting, that ancient wound care story isn't pure fantasy. Yarrow has one of the longest documented histories of any plant used specifically for bleeding across cultures that had no contact with each other. Indigenous peoples across North America used yarrow for wounds long before European settlers arrived. Traditional Chinese medicine used it. European folk medicine called it nosebleed plant and soldier's woundwort for the exact same reason. When a plant earns the same reputation independently, in places that never spoke to each other, researchers start paying attention. If someone in your family ever kept a jar of dried yarrow just in case, for a cut, a nosebleed, a scrape, they were continuing something that stretches back further than most family trees can trace. So what does modern research actually say? Laboratory studies have found that yarrow contains compounds, including achillean and various flavonoids, that appear to support clotting and reduce inflammation in wound tissue. But laboratory activity is not the same as clinical proof. Most of the strongest evidence comes from animal studies and small trials, not large human clinical research. A handful of small studies have looked at yarrow-based topical preparations for minor wound healing, with some encouraging results, but the research base remains limited compared to more heavily studied herbs. So the honest answer is this: yarrow's traditional reputation for wound care has real chemical plausibility behind it, and centuries of independent use to back it up, but it hasn't been proven at the level of a clinical treatment. There's a second reputation yarrow carries, one fewer people know about: traditional use for digestive discomfort and mild fever, taken as a tea rather than applied to skin. Herbal traditions across Europe have long used yarrow tea for digestive complaints and to support the body during a common cold, again, classified as traditional use rather than proven treatment. Now, the warning almost nobody mentions. Yarrow belongs to the same plant family as ragweed and chrysanthemums, the Asteraceae family. If you have known allergies to ragweed or related plants, yarrow can trigger a reaction, sometimes just from skin contact. Some people develop skin irritation simply from handling fresh yarrow in the garden. If you notice redness or itching after touching the plant, treat that as useful information, not a coincidence. And because yarrow has traditionally been associated with clotting, there's an important caution for anyone taking blood thinners: combining the two without medical guidance isn't something to guess about. Yarrow is also generally advised against during pregnancy, based on traditional use patterns and limited safety data, another reason to treat concentrated preparations with the same caution as any other medicinal herb. This is exactly the kind of detail worth knowing before an emergency, not after one, the sort of thing worth mentioning to a family member who still keeps dried herbs in the cabinet out of habit. For everyday use, yarrow is mild enough to enjoy simply, in modest amounts. A traditional yarrow tea uses a small amount of dried flower and leaf steeped in hot water, bitter on its own, so many people blend it with mint or chamomile for a more pleasant cup. The old battlefield poultice, crushed fresh leaves pressed against a minor scrape, remains part of folk tradition today, though any wound beyond a minor scrape deserves real medical attention, not garden leaves. None of this replaces a bandage, antiseptic, or a doctor's care for anything serious. Yarrow's place is in minor, traditional, everyday use, not as a substitute for real wound treatment. Now for the part yarrow is genuinely famous for among gardeners: it might be the most forgiving plant you'll ever grow. Yarrow thrives in poor, dry soil that would disappoint most other plants. Give it full sun and soil that drains well, and it asks for almost nothing else. Once established, yarrow tolerates drought remarkably well. Its deep root system searches out moisture far below the surface, which is part of why it survives roadsides and neglected corners so easily. It's also a favorite among pollinators. Butterflies, bees, and beneficial insects are drawn to those flat flower clusters, making yarrow a quietly valuable addition to any garden trying to support local wildlife. Yarrow spreads on its own through underground rhizomes and self-seeding, so a single healthy plant can become a small patch within a couple of seasons. Division in spring or fall is the easiest way to share or expand it. There's a particular kind of satisfaction in growing something that asks for almost nothing and still rewards you every summer, the kind of plant gardeners tend to trust more than anything they had to fuss over. Deadhead spent flowers to encourage more blooms through the season, and don't worry too much about watering once it's settled, and overwatering is a far bigger risk to yarrow than neglect ever will be. So where does that leave Achilles plant? Yarrow's reputation for wounds has real chemical grounding and an unusually consistent history across unrelated cultures, but it remains traditional use, not a proven clinical treatment. Its most important caution isn't dramatic, it's the allergy risk for anyone sensitive to ragweed, and the clotting-related caution for anyone on blood-thinning medication. And in the garden, yarrow might be one of the easiest, most rewarding plants you'll ever grow, asking for almost nothing, giving pollinators and gardeners quite a lot in return. Achilles is remembered for one vulnerable heel. Perhaps he should be remembered just as much for the plant that carried his name into medicine cabinets and gardens more than 2,000 years after his story was first told. There's more of this kind of story ahead, familiar plants, older than you'd guess, still asking new questions. Plant lore after 60 will be here when you're ready for the next one.